No space, no comfort, no rhythm. He guards the other team's best player every single night, from Trae Young, LeBron, and even Jokic. And the goal is always the same: erase the star. So today, we'll break down the skills that made the box so hard to escape, and how you can steal these same habits for your own game. Let's dive in.
Oh man, what a defensive play on this defense. Wow.
And in the lane, Toumani denies both of them. He stays between man and ball, hand in the lane, and makes every catch a battle. Same idea here with Steph Curry. Camara meets him at half court. Curry tries to get to the foul line to set up his wing cut and actually loses Toumani. But the box doesn't chase him, he races to the passing lane. Denial hand into that lane, getting the deflection and getting the steal. And this clip, it's a defensive clinic. Deny the primary option, force the backdoor, and cover it up. He doesn't chase him opposite either. He holds his help just long enough to protect the rim and get a look at the roller. Then, as the ball drives his way, he knows he's no longer in deep help. He needs to get back out to his man, so he stunts hard at the ball and recovers to his man with a wide hand, getting the steal. Denial, help, and recovery, all in one possession. But hopefully the main takeaway in all of this is that when your man gives it up, it should be hard to get it back, especially if they're a star or a tough matchup for you. Kobe White hands it off here. Toumani slides into the gap, and as the ball comes back, he jumps into denial and steals the pass. Another possession erased for his matchup. Because even from the gap, you can still make plays, like a stunt and deny. Hard stunt at the drive, then immediately go into that passing lane with your closest hand. No lingering, no waiting, just stunt hard, deny, and deflect. You'll be surprised at how many steals you can get just with this technique. And denial isn't just about what hand you use or your hand positioning. No, Toumani takes it over the top. Literally, by cutting off the play before it starts. That's where top blocking comes in. Top blocking is getting to the high side and staying there, forcing the offense out of their route. When they try to fight through, well, you own that space. And more often than not, you're either blowing up the play or drawing a foul. And it could be any play for a star player, a cut, a handoff, or even coming off screens. Top blocking isn't just one-on-one denial, it's blowing up the entire team's timing. And against elite scorers, you want to break up that rhythm. You want to break up the other team's offense and force them into bad angles and risky cuts. You can see the Warriors are trying to set a screen for Curry, and he cuts backdoor, and Toumani's able to cover that up. And all that contact you're seeing, that's not just holding your ground, it's baiting the offense into mistakes. Nobody in the league drew more offensive fouls than Toumani Camara this year, and it's not even close. You're entitled to your space. Defense has the right to stand their ground, and Camara wins these battles by blocking the path early. The offense has to work twice as hard just to start the play. And listen, if they get caught up in the grappling fight, well, even better. It's all about disruption, and it doesn't just happen in the half court for Camara. He starts it 94 feet away too. Full court defense isn't always about going for steals. Sometimes it's about making the ball handler just work a little harder, or just slow the offense down ever so slightly, starting later in the shot clock. You don't always have to pressure the ball, you can cushion and contain it too. And something more important might happen. You might pick up full, and it serves a greater purpose. You can see in this play, James Harden gets rid of the ball and lets someone else initiate the offense. Again, it's about limiting touches. And not everyone wants to be hounded full court all game. So if you can get them to give up the ball, then maybe you can deny them in the half court. And if we go back to that James Harden clip, even when he gets it back in the half court, he's so far up the floor, the spacing of the offense is completely off because of his full court defense and half court denials. And of course, full court pressure can also force turnovers, whether it's a bad dribble or just forcing the offense to speed up and drive into help. And of course, Toumani is never out of the play either, usually getting chased down blocks when guys drive out of control. And if the offensive ball handler does happen to compose themselves to run a play, it's often a ball screen. And in Camara's case, that means he's in position to use one of his most dangerous weapons, the peel switch. And if you never heard of the term, here's what it means. In a ball screen, instead of staying with the ball handler, you peel off and switch onto the roller. This is important for Camara because his ball pressure often puts him high, so it would be hard to get under the screen to switch. Instead, he gets over the screen and peels off to the high side of the roller, getting his hands into the passing lane immediately. If the ball handler throws a pocket pass, it's almost always stolen. The timing matters here too. Once the big switches onto the ball or the ball gets downhill, that's when Camara peels back, either to sit on the roller and keep him off the glass or to take away those lob passes. That quick recognition stops easy points before they happen. Sometimes it's as simple as recognizing the pass and picking it off. Other times, it's not just one play and done. Here, he peels off onto LeBron to deny that roll pass. They swing it to the wing to further post LeBron up, and Portland reacts immediately by jumping into a trap and forcing a deflection. The peel switch set the entire defensive scheme in motion, allowing them to trap LeBron from the weak side. Peel switches are about reading the next threat and beating it to the spot. And that's the same awareness that makes Camara the best in the league at drawing offensive fouls. This season, Camara drew more offensive fouls than 21 other NBA teams. That's not luck, it's positioning, anticipation, and the toughness to take the hit. You can see that when he's in help, he's always reading his man and the ball. And when the drive comes, he's ready to get outside that charge circle early and plant his feet for the ref. Even if the ball handler passes, Camara commits to the positioning and still takes the contact to draw the foul. Even when he's off the ball, he always seems to be hunting these charges. Usually, on most teams, it's the opposite low man who comes over to help at the basket. But Toumani will come over from literally any position to take these charges. And he'll even take them in the post against stronger players or on the ball when he's locking someone down. It's all about angles. Camara stays square, beats you to the spot, and keeps his chest and hands visible for the ref. No reaching, no leaning, just clean position. And remember, if a defender gets to the spot first or is moving backwards, the defender is entitled to that spot. He's in legal guarding position, so any offensive contact should result in an offensive foul. The true key to all of these is he's never out of position, and that comes down to his footwork. Camara starts in a forward balanced stance, knees bent ever so slightly, upper body leaning slightly as well to apply more pressure. He keeps his chest square to the ball though, forcing wide drives instead of straight lines. Those wide driving angles allow him to funnel the ball into help or gap defense. And when he does ramp up the pressure and get tighter with his pressure, he loves to use the crossover step to cover more ground defensively. The lower body looking like a turn and run, but the upper body staying square, keeping him in legal guarding position while still cutting off the lane. Against players who aren't dribbling, he loves to crowd them with high active hands, taking away vision and passing lanes. If they lower the ball to their hip, of course he pops back to avoid any rip-throughs. But notice, even when he crowds the vision, he's also always ready for that rip-through. One hand high and one hand low. Old school fundamentals still working. But most impressive to me is his ability to defend spin moves. Instead of leaning forward and getting sealed like a lot of cushion defenders do, he absorbs that contact by popping back, giving him the space to meet that spin move with his chest. And I should also mention that for an elite lockdown defender, he doesn't get a ton of on-ball steals. But when he does, it's usually about beating the player to the spot and evading contact to swipe through the ball. But to me, the lack of volume in on-ball steals is attributed to his discipline and footwork that Camara takes in his defense and making things tough for the scorer. These are the traits that allows him to guard almost any type of player in the game. And when you watch him closely, he doesn't guard everyone the same way. His footwork and positioning changes based on his matchup. Against smaller guards like Trae Young, he applies tight pressure. His length gives him the freedom to recover